Can multiple salamanders live together in one enclosure? If you're thinking of keeping multiple salamanders in the same enclosure, you're probably wondering if it's a good idea and what you need to consider. Let's break it down to help you make the best decision for your pets. First, it's important to understand that salamanders are generally solitary animals. Many species are not meant to live together, and housing them in the same enclosure can lead to several problems. For instance, different species of salamanders have unique care requirements, such as different temperature needs. Mixing species like eastern newts with Spanish rib newts can be disastrous because the larger Spanish rib newts can harm or even eat the smaller eastern newts. Even within the same species, housing multiple salamanders together is often not recommended. Spotted salamanders, for example, are naturally solitary and should not be housed together. They requiring a lot of space, and their territories in the wild are quite large, so a single salamander needs a minimum of a 20-gallon long tank to thrive. Tiger salamanders present a slightly different case, but they still have specific needs. While it is possible to keep two tiger salamanders together, it requires careful consideration. A larger tank, such as a 20-gallon long, is necessary to reduce aggression and ensure each salamander has enough space. However, even in these conditions, younger tiger salamanders can go through a nippy phase where they bite each other, especially during feeding times. Some salamander species, like the red-backed salamander, have been observed in pairs in the wild, showing behaviors consistent with social monogamy. However, this does not translate to keeping multiple salamanders of the same species together in captivity. In fact, these social behaviors are more about pair bonding during the breeding season rather than living together long-term. In summary, while there are some exceptions and specific conditions under which multiple salamanders might cohabitate, the general rule is to keep them separate. This is to ensure their health, safety, and to prevent stress and aggression. If you do decide to keep multiple salamanders, make sure you provide a large enough enclosure and monitor their behavior closely to avoid any conflicts. Freshwater shrimp can be a peaceful and beneficial tank mate for salamanders, but other amphibians like frogs or different salamander species should be avoided.